2000 English sentences. I have been waiting for you since morning. She has already finished her homework. They were discussing the issue when I entered the room. If you study regularly, you will improve quickly. He didn't attend the meeting because he was unwell. We should respect people regardless of their background. The train had left before we reached the station. She speaks English more fluently than her sister. I am looking forward to meeting you soon. They have been working on this project for months. He apologized for arriving late. The teacher explained the lesson clearly. She was tired, yet she continued working. I would rather stay at home tonight. They decided to postpone the event. He is capable of solving difficult problems. The weather is getting colder day by day. She insisted on paying the bill herself. We need to focus on our goals. The movie was more interesting than I expected. I couldn't understand what he meant. She promised that she would call me later. The company plans to expand next year. He was surprised by the results. I prefer coffee instead of tea. They were excited about the trip. She managed to complete the task on time. The meeting was cancelled due to heavy rain. He is known for his honesty. I forgot to bring my notebook. She has improved her skills significantly. We were stuck in traffic for hours. He advised me to be careful. The exam was easier than we thought. She complained about the noise. I need to figure out the solution. They were arguing about politics. He succeeded despite many difficulties. The book contains useful information. She felt disappointed with the outcome. I have never seen such a beautiful place. He asked me whether I was ready. She avoided answering the question. We must take responsibility for our actions. The shop closes at 9 p.m. He forgot where he had parked the car. She was confused about the instructions. I am interested in learning new languages. They agreed to help us. The children were playing in the garden. He warned us about the danger. She borrowed some money from me. I can't believe what happened yesterday. They were satisfied with the service. She refused to accept the offer. The manager appreciated our hard work. I didn't realize it was so late. He is responsible for this mistake. We should think before we speak. She has been feeling unwell lately. The results will be announced tomorrow. He made a serious mistake. I am not familiar with this area. She reacted calmly to the situation. They were preparing for the competition. He struggled to control his anger. I need some time to think. She apologized for her behavior. The report was submitted yesterday. He tried to convince me. I would like to apply for the job. She has a strong desire to succeed. They were shocked by the news. He avoided making eye contact. I regret not studying harder. She encouraged me to keep trying. The plan seems effective. He complained that the food was cold. I am confident about my preparation. She hesitated before answering. They invested a lot of money. He ignored my advice. I am aware of the risks involved. She handled the situation wisely. We need to discuss this matter seriously. He failed to meet the deadline. I was impressed by her performance. She admitted her mistake. They were determined to win. He demanded an explanation. I have already informed him. She seems upset today. They were forced to cancel the trip. He took advantage of the opportunity. I prefer staying indoors during winter. She has a habit of arriving late. We need to arrange a meeting. He denied the accusation. I appreciate your support. She remained silent throughout the discussion. They were concerned about the results. He attempted to solve the puzzle. I was unable to attend the event. She complained about the delay. We have to complete this task soon. He expressed his opinion confidently. I am grateful for your help. She was amazed by the view. They organized a surprise party. He misunderstood my intention. I am planning to start a new course. She kept her promise. They were eager to learn. He responded politely. I forgot to switch off the lights. She shared her experience with us. We need to improve our communication skills. He managed to escape safely. I didn't expect such a reaction. She completed the assignment successfully. They were worried about their future. He apologized for the inconvenience. I am trying to save some money. She arrived earlier than expected. We must follow the rules strictly. He was accused of cheating. I prefer reading books at night. She offered to help me. They participated in the competition. He avoided taking responsibility. I was surprised to see him there. She is capable of handling pressure. We need to find a better solution. He realized his mistake later. I am not satisfied with the result. She insisted that she was right. They have been practicing regularly. He decided to change his career. I forgot to reply to her message. She reacted differently than expected. We were exhausted after the journey. He encouraged his team members. I am confident that we will succeed. She tried to explain the concept clearly. They discussed the matter privately. He refused to listen to my advice. I have been searching for this book. She was delighted to hear the news. We need to reduce unnecessary expenses. He accepted the challenge bravely. I couldn't concentrate on my work. She has developed a new skill. They were impressed by his speech. He lost his wallet yesterday. I am preparing for the upcoming exam. She reacted emotionally to the situation. We need to act quickly. He admitted that he was wrong. I prefer traveling by train. She was curious about the result. They were unaware of the changes. He completed the project efficiently. I need to improve my vocabulary. She refused to answer the question. We should respect each other's opinions. He felt nervous before the interview. I am satisfied with my progress. She was confused by the instructions. They decided to move to another city. He avoided discussing the topic. I am responsible for my own decisions. She explained the process step by step. We were disappointed with the service. He managed to fix the problem. I regret wasting my time. She accepted the invitation gladly. They were relieved after hearing the news. He tried to improve his performance. I am aware that it will take time. She encouraged her friend to apply. We need to maintain discipline. He expressed his feelings honestly. I prefer studying in the morning. She apologized for the misunderstanding. They were excited about the opportunity. He failed to understand the concept. I am determined to achieve my goal. She handled the situation carefully. We should learn from our mistakes. He made a positive impression. I forgot to submit the form. She was surprised by his behavior. They were discussing their future plans. He agreed to cooperate with us. I am not interested in gossip. She completed the work ahead of schedule. We need to manage our time effectively. He apologized for his rude behavior. I am grateful for this opportunity. She seemed confident during the presentation. He has been preparing for the interview all week. She realized that she had forgotten her keys. They were waiting outside when the gates opened. I would have helped you if I had known. She tends to overthink small issues. We need to consider all possible options. He was promoted because of his dedication. I am not convinced by his explanation. She adjusted quickly to the new environment. They apologized for the inconvenience caused. He insisted that he was telling the truth. I am trying to overcome my fear of public speaking. She reacted positively to the feedback. We should avoid making unnecessary mistakes. He struggled to balance work and studies. I was relieved when the exam ended. She is determined to pursue her dreams. They were disappointed with the final decision. He admitted that he needed help. I prefer working independently. She reminded me to submit the application. We have to deal with this situation carefully. He responded immediately to the email. I am grateful that you supported me. She was impressed by his confidence. They were confused about the new rules. He managed to solve the issue efficiently. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. She is capable of leading the team. We need to analyze the problem thoroughly. He apologized for misunderstanding me. I am not satisfied with the current results. She encouraged her brother to participate. They were amazed by the performance. He refused to accept the responsibility. I have been practicing English every day. She agreed to join us for dinner. We should focus on improving our skills. He hesitated before making the decision. I was unaware of the changes in the schedule. She has developed a strong interest in music. They were worried about missing the train. He made an effort to improve his behavior. I am confident that everything will be fine. She completed the task without any help. We need to respect other people's opinions. He failed to recognize the opportunity. I would rather wait than rush the process. She responded politely to the criticism. They decided to postpone the meeting. He apologized for being late again. I am interested in learning advanced grammar. She managed to control her emotions. We were surprised by the sudden announcement. He agreed to take part in the discussion. I am trying to improve my pronunciation. She admitted that she was confused. They were determined to complete the project. He ignored the warning signs. I appreciate your honesty. She refused to compromise her values. We need to plan our future carefully. He expressed his disappointment openly. I was impressed by their teamwork. She arrived at the office on time. They were concerned about their performance. He attempted to fix the broken machine. I regret not taking the opportunity earlier. She explained the rules clearly. We should maintain a positive attitude. He was accused of breaking the rules. I am not familiar with this software. She encouraged me to stay motivated. They organized the event successfully. He struggled to complete the assignment. I am planning to attend the seminar. She reacted calmly under pressure. We must learn to accept criticism. He admitted that he made a mistake. I prefer listening to music while studying. She felt nervous before giving her speech. They were excited about the upcoming festival. He managed to finish the work on time. I am responsible for submitting the report. She promised to support me. We need to improve our time management. He misunderstood the instructions completely. I am grateful for your guidance. She decided to take a short break. They were relieved when the problem was solved. He insisted on checking the details again. I was confused about the new policy. She participated actively in the meeting. We should avoid unnecessary arguments. He succeeded in achieving his target. I am confident in my abilities. She apologized for the misunderstanding. They were impressed with the results. He agreed to reconsider his decision. I need to concentrate on my studies. She has been improving steadily. We were unaware of the hidden costs. He tried to convince them politely. I regret not listening to your advice. She was determined to prove herself. They faced several challenges during the project. He avoided answering personal questions. I am interested in gaining more experience. She handled the situation professionally. We must take immediate action. He expressed his gratitude sincerely. I prefer staying focused on my goals. She managed to meet the deadline. They were shocked by the sudden news. He denied being involved in the issue. I was satisfied with the final outcome. She insisted that we follow the plan. We need to evaluate our progress regularly. He apologized for the delay. I am preparing for the competitive exam. She responded confidently to the questions. They were eager to explore new opportunities. He attempted to explain his perspective. I appreciate the effort you made. She was confused by the complicated process. We should develop better communication skills. He agreed to cooperate with the authorities. I am not ready to give up. She encouraged her team to stay positive. They were concerned about the budget. He managed to overcome his fears. I regret wasting so much time. She refused to participate in the argument. We need to be patient during difficult times. He admitted his fault honestly. I am aware of my weaknesses. She completed the training successfully. They were disappointed with the service quality. He tried to improve his communication skills. I prefer working in a peaceful environment. She was delighted to receive the award. We should avoid negative thinking. He responded immediately to the request. I am confident about the results. She explained the concept in detail. They were relieved after finishing the exam. He failed to meet the expectations. I am interested in developing new skills. She admitted that she needed more practice. We must learn from our experiences. He apologized for his careless mistake. I was surprised by the quick response. She handled the criticism maturely. They decided to invest in a new project. He ignored the advice completely. I am preparing for the next stage. She insisted on completing the task herself. We need to improve our performance consistently. He expressed his concerns clearly. I prefer discussing important matters face to face. She was excited to start her new job. They were confused about the instructions. He managed to control the situation. I regret making that decision. She encouraged me to keep learning. We should focus on our priorities. He apologized for the misunderstanding. I am confident that we can succeed. She completed the project ahead of time. They were impressed by her dedication. He refused to accept the blame. I am trying to develop better habits. She reacted positively to the suggestion. We need to work together as a team. He admitted that he was wrong. I prefer studying in a quiet place. She was determined to achieve success. They were concerned about their future plans. He managed to resolve the conflict. I am grateful for your constant support. She explained her point clearly. We should avoid repeating the same mistakes. He attempted to improve his performance. I regret not preparing earlier. She encouraged her friend to stay strong. They were excited about the new opportunity. He apologized sincerely for his behavior. I am confident in my preparation. She handled the pressure effectively. We must maintain discipline at all times. He expressed his opinions openly. I prefer focusing on practical knowledge. She completed the assignment carefully. They were surprised by the announcement. He denied the allegations strongly. I am preparing for tomorrow's meeting. She insisted that we review the plan again. We need to stay motivated. He managed to achieve his goals. I appreciate your continuous encouragement. She has been working here for more than 5 years. I realized that I had left my phone at home. They were discussing the proposal when the manager arrived. He apologized for not informing us earlier. We should take this opportunity seriously. She managed to solve the problem independently. I am not satisfied with the explanation you gave. They were eager to start the new project. He admitted that he had misunderstood the instructions. We need to improve our overall performance. She responded quickly to the emergency. I prefer to complete my tasks in advance. They were disappointed by the final outcome. He insisted on checking the report once more. We should focus on long-term goals. She felt relieved after finishing the presentation. I regret not asking for help sooner. They decided to take a different approach. He expressed his concern about the delay. We must respect the rules at all times. She was confused about the updated schedule. I am confident that you will perform well. They were surprised to see such quick results. He refused to change his opinion. We need to evaluate the situation carefully. She completed the assignment without any errors. I am trying to improve my communication skills. They agreed to support the new initiative. He managed to control his emotions. We should avoid unnecessary risks. She admitted that she needed more experience. I prefer reading informative articles. They were concerned about the financial issue. He apologized for his careless behavior. We must stay focused on our objectives. She encouraged her team to work harder. I am preparing for the upcoming competition. They were impressed by his dedication. He denied breaking the agreement. We need to discuss this matter in detail. She reacted calmly to the criticism. I am aware of the consequences. They were relieved when the issue was resolved. He struggled to meet the expectations. We should learn to manage stress effectively. She insisted that we follow the guidelines. I regret wasting valuable time. They decided to revise their strategy. He attempted to explain his reasoning. We must work efficiently to achieve success. She has improved her performance significantly. I am not familiar with this procedure. They were excited about the new development. He managed to complete the project successfully. We should remain patient during difficult times. She apologized for the inconvenience. I prefer to plan everything in advance. They were shocked by the unexpected announcement. He admitted his mistake openly. We need to strengthen our teamwork. She was determined to overcome the challenges. I am grateful for your valuable advice. They were confused by the complicated instructions. He responded confidently to the questions. We must avoid repeating the same errors. She encouraged me to pursue my goals. I regret not taking the chance earlier. They agreed to reconsider their decision. He refused to participate in the discussion. We should maintain a positive mindset. She completed the task ahead of schedule. I am trying to develop better habits. They were disappointed with their performance. He expressed his gratitude sincerely. We need to improve our productivity. She handled the situation professionally. I prefer studying during the early hours. They were concerned about the upcoming exam. He managed to resolve the misunderstanding. We should act responsibly. She admitted that she was nervous. I am confident about our preparation. They were eager to learn new skills. He apologized for his rude remarks. We must consider all aspects before deciding. She reacted positively to the feedback. I regret ignoring your advice. They decided to expand their business. He insisted on completing the work himself. We need to analyze the results carefully. She was amazed by the beautiful scenery. I am interested in gaining practical experience. They were relieved after hearing the news. He attempted to improve his behavior. We should avoid making quick judgments. She explained the process clearly. I prefer working in a quiet atmosphere. They were surprised by his sudden decision. He admitted that he was wrong. We must learn from our mistakes. She has been practicing consistently. I am preparing for a challenging interview. They were impressed by her confidence. He refused to accept the offer. We need to organize the documents properly. She encouraged her colleagues to participate. I regret not completing the task on time. They agreed to cooperate fully. He managed to finish the work efficiently. We should focus on quality rather than quantity. She responded politely to the criticism. I am aware that improvement takes time. They were concerned about the delay. He apologized for missing the deadline. We must follow the instructions carefully. She handled the responsibility confidently. I prefer discussing issues openly. They were excited about the opportunity. He expressed his disappointment clearly. We need to make better decisions. She insisted on reviewing the details again. I am confident in my abilities. They were surprised by the outcome. He attempted to solve the problem quickly. We should maintain discipline in our work. She admitted her fault sincerely. I regret making that careless error. They decided to postpone the event. He managed to convince the team. We need to improve our overall strategy. She was determined to succeed. I am grateful for your encouragement. They were confused about the new system. He responded immediately to the request. We must stay committed to our goals. She completed the task successfully. I prefer spending time productively. They were relieved after the discussion. He denied the accusation firmly. We should evaluate our performance regularly. She encouraged her friend to apply for the job. I am preparing for the final examination. They were impressed by his presentation. He apologized for the misunderstanding. We need to focus on practical solutions. She reacted confidently to the challenge. I regret not listening carefully. They agreed to follow the new policy. He managed to complete the assignment on time. We must learn to handle criticism positively. She admitted that she felt nervous. I am confident that we can achieve success. They were concerned about their results. He attempted to improve his performance. We should avoid unnecessary conflicts. She handled the situation wisely. I prefer to work independently. They were excited about the upcoming event. He expressed his opinion respectfully. We need to strengthen our skills. She was surprised by the sudden change. I am trying to stay focused on my goals. They were disappointed with the service. He refused to take responsibility. We must work together effectively. She completed her training successfully. I regret not preparing properly. They decided to review their plans. He managed to solve the issue calmly. We should maintain consistency in our efforts. She encouraged her team members. I am aware of the challenges ahead. They were relieved after completing the task. He apologized for the delay sincerely. We need to act quickly and efficiently. She reacted positively to the suggestion. I prefer reading books that inspire me. They were amazed by his dedication. He admitted his mistake without hesitation. We must improve our communication regularly. She was determined to prove her ability. I am confident in my preparation. They were confused about the instructions. He attempted to explain his point clearly. We should focus on long-term success. She completed the project efficiently. I regret not making a better choice. They agreed to support each other. He managed to overcome the difficulty. We need to stay motivated and disciplined. She handled the pressure effectively. I am grateful for your continuous support. They were excited about the results. He refused to give up. We must evaluate our strengths and weaknesses. She responded confidently during the interview. I prefer planning my day in advance. They were surprised by the quick progress. He expressed his concerns honestly. We need to remain consistent in our efforts. She has been improving her skills steadily. I realized that I had misunderstood the question. They were discussing their plans for the future. He apologized for not responding earlier. We should consider the consequences before acting. She managed to complete the task despite difficulties. I am not satisfied with my current performance. They were eager to attend the workshop. He admitted that he had made an error. We need to focus on achieving our targets. She responded politely to the complaint. I prefer working in a structured environment. They were disappointed by the unexpected result. He insisted that he was innocent. We should develop a clear strategy. She felt confident about her preparation. I regret not taking your advice seriously. They decided to change their approach. He expressed his views clearly. We must respect everyone equally. She was confused by the complicated instructions. I am confident that we will succeed. They were surprised by the rapid progress. He refused to compromise his principles. We need to evaluate our options carefully. She completed the assignment with dedication. I am trying to enhance my vocabulary. They agreed to support the decision. He managed to stay calm under pressure. We should avoid unnecessary stress. She admitted that she needed improvement. I prefer learning through practical examples. They were concerned about their financial condition. He apologized for the misunderstanding. We must remain focused on our objectives. She encouraged her classmates to participate actively. I am preparing for an important examination. They were impressed by his hard work. He denied any involvement in the matter. We need to communicate more effectively. She reacted positively to the suggestion. I am aware of my responsibilities. They were relieved after hearing the announcement. He struggled to meet the deadline. We should learn to manage our time wisely. She insisted on reviewing the document again. I regret wasting my energy on trivial matters. They decided to organize the event differently. He attempted to solve the issue logically. We must work together to achieve success. She has improved her confidence significantly. I am not familiar with this topic. They were excited about the new opportunity. He managed to complete the project before time. We should stay patient during challenging situations. She apologized sincerely for her behavior. I prefer preparing my notes in advance. They were shocked by the unexpected news. He admitted his mistake honestly. We need to build stronger relationships. She was determined to reach her goals. I am grateful for your constant guidance. They were confused about the updated rules. He responded confidently during the discussion. We must avoid making careless decisions. She encouraged me to continue my efforts. I regret not participating earlier. They agreed to revise their plan. He refused to accept the responsibility. We should maintain a healthy work-life balance. She completed the task efficiently. I am trying to develop better communication skills. They were disappointed with their performance. He expressed his gratitude sincerely. We need to increase our productivity. She handled the criticism professionally. I prefer studying in the evening. They were concerned about the upcoming deadline. He managed to resolve the misunderstanding quickly. We should act thoughtfully in every situation. She admitted that she felt anxious. I am confident about my abilities. They were eager to explore new ideas. He apologized for his inappropriate remarks. We must consider every detail carefully. She reacted calmly to the criticism. I regret ignoring important advice. They decided to invest more resources. He insisted on completing the task independently. We need to analyze the situation thoroughly. She was amazed by the positive feedback. I am interested in improving my public speaking skills. They were relieved after resolving the conflict. He attempted to improve his leadership qualities. We should avoid negative influences. She explained her viewpoint clearly. I prefer working on challenging projects. They were surprised by his quick response. He admitted that he lacked experience. We must learn from both success and failure. She has been practicing regularly to improve. I am preparing for a competitive examination. They were impressed by her creativity. He refused to accept unfair treatment. We need to organize our schedule properly. She encouraged her friends to stay motivated. I regret not taking the opportunity seriously. They agreed to cooperate for mutual benefit. He managed to finish the task successfully. We should focus on continuous improvement. She responded positively to constructive criticism. I am aware that progress requires effort. They were concerned about the company's future. He apologized for the delay in submission. We must follow the guidelines strictly. She handled her responsibilities confidently. I prefer discussing matters calmly. They were excited about their achievements. He expressed his disappointment respectfully. We need to make informed decisions. She insisted on verifying the information. I am confident in our team's abilities. They were surprised by the remarkable results. He attempted to correct his mistakes. We should maintain discipline and dedication. She admitted her weakness openly. I regret making assumptions without facts. They decided to improve their communication. He managed to convince everyone with logic. We need to adopt a more practical approach. She was determined to achieve excellence. I am grateful for your patience and support. They were confused about the technical issue. He responded promptly to the request. We must stay committed to our responsibilities. She completed her project with accuracy. I prefer focusing on meaningful tasks. They were relieved after completing the presentation. He denied the allegations confidently. We should evaluate our progress consistently. She encouraged her team to think creatively. I am preparing for an important presentation. They were impressed by his professionalism. He apologized for the inconvenience caused. We need to prioritize our tasks effectively. She reacted positively to the new changes. I regret not preparing thoroughly. They agreed to implement the new strategy. He managed to complete the work efficiently. We must handle criticism with maturity. She admitted that she was under pressure. I am confident that hard work will pay off. They were concerned about their academic results. He attempted to improve his communication style. We should avoid unnecessary distractions. She handled the challenge confidently. I prefer working in a disciplined environment. They were excited about the new assignment. He expressed his thoughts clearly. We need to strengthen our knowledge base. She was surprised by the unexpected opportunity. I am trying to maintain consistency in my efforts. They were disappointed with the final outcome. He refused to participate in the conflict. We must collaborate effectively to succeed. She completed her responsibilities on time. I regret not asking questions earlier. They decided to modify their plan. He managed to handle the situation calmly. We should remain focused despite challenges. She encouraged her colleagues to work together. I am aware of the importance of discipline. They were relieved after completing the task successfully. He apologized sincerely for his mistake. We need to improve our decision-making skills. She reacted wisely to the criticism. I prefer reading books that enhance my knowledge. They were amazed by his determination. He admitted his fault without hesitation. We must develop a positive mindset. She was determined to overcome her weaknesses. I am confident in my preparation for the exam. They were confused by the complex explanation. He attempted to clarify his position. We should focus on long-term development. She completed the assignment accurately. I regret not managing my time effectively. They agreed to help each other improve. He managed to overcome the obstacle successfully. We need to stay disciplined and consistent. She handled the situation with confidence. I am grateful for the opportunity to learn. They were excited about their progress. He refused to accept defeat. We must evaluate our performance honestly. She responded confidently to the interviewer. I prefer planning my tasks systematically. They were surprised by the rapid improvement. He expressed his concerns thoughtfully. We need to remain committed to our goals. She has been working on her weaknesses consistently. I realized that I needed to change my strategy. They were discussing the results in detail. He apologized for arriving late to the meeting. We should think carefully before making decisions. She managed to complete the assignment successfully. I am not satisfied with my preparation level. They were eager to learn from their mistakes. He admitted that he had overlooked an important detail. We need to focus on our priorities. She responded calmly to the criticism. I prefer studying with complete concentration. They were disappointed by the unexpected delay. He insisted on finishing the work on time. We should maintain consistency in our efforts. She felt confident during the presentation. I regret not starting earlier. They decided to review the plan once again. He expressed his opinion clearly and confidently. We must respect others' perspectives. She was confused about the new guidelines. I am confident that we can handle this challenge. They were surprised by the positive response. He refused to compromise on quality. We need to analyze the situation from every angle. She completed the project without any assistance. I am trying to improve my writing skills. They agreed to support each other. He managed to stay focused despite distractions. We should avoid making emotional decisions. She admitted that she felt overwhelmed. I prefer learning through experience. They were concerned about their upcoming interview. He apologized for the inconvenience caused. We must remain dedicated to our goals. She encouraged her friends to stay positive. I am preparing for a crucial examination. They were impressed by his discipline. He denied the accusations confidently. We need to communicate our ideas effectively. She reacted wisely in a difficult situation. I am aware of the effort required to succeed. They were relieved after receiving the confirmation. He struggled to understand the complex concept. We should learn to accept constructive criticism. She insisted on following the proper procedure. I regret not managing my time wisely. They decided to improve their strategy. He attempted to resolve the issue professionally. We must work hard to achieve our dreams. She has improved her communication skills noticeably. I am not familiar with this method. They were excited about the new challenge. He managed to complete the work ahead of time. We should stay patient during tough times. She apologized sincerely for her mistake. I prefer planning my schedule in advance. They were shocked by the sudden announcement. He admitted his weakness openly. We need to strengthen our foundation. She was determined to succeed at any cost. I am grateful for your consistent support. They were confused about the updated syllabus. He responded confidently to the interviewer. We must avoid repeating past mistakes. She encouraged me to keep improving. I regret not paying attention earlier. They agreed to implement the new system. He refused to accept negative feedback. We should maintain a disciplined routine. She completed the assignment with accuracy. I am trying to build better habits. They were disappointed with their results. He expressed his gratitude politely. We need to enhance our problem-solving skills. She handled the pressure with maturity. I prefer studying in a peaceful environment. They were concerned about their career prospects. He managed to resolve the misunderstanding calmly. We should act responsibly in every situation. She admitted that she needed more practice. I am confident in my preparation strategy. They were eager to gain practical knowledge. He apologized for his careless remark. We must consider the long-term impact of our decisions. She reacted positively to the feedback. I regret not asking for clarification. They decided to reorganize their work. He insisted on maintaining high standards. We need to review our progress regularly. She was amazed by the improvement she made. I am interested in learning advanced concepts. They were relieved after completing the examination. He attempted to improve his time management. We should avoid unnecessary complications. She explained the topic in simple terms. I prefer working on tasks that challenge me. They were surprised by his dedication. He admitted that he lacked proper planning. We must learn to adapt to change. She has been preparing diligently for months. I am preparing for the final stage of the exam. They were impressed by her leadership qualities. He refused to give up on his dreams. We need to organize our resources efficiently. She encouraged her classmates to aim higher. I regret not utilizing my time properly. They agreed to collaborate on the project. He managed to overcome his fear of failure. We should focus on steady improvement. She responded positively to the constructive criticism. I am aware that success requires patience. They were concerned about their performance in the test. He apologized for the misunderstanding. We must follow a systematic approach. She handled her duties responsibly. I prefer discussing important matters directly. They were excited about their new responsibilities. He expressed his disappointment honestly. We need to make thoughtful decisions. She insisted on double-checking the data. I am confident that we can achieve our goals. They were surprised by the unexpected outcome. He attempted to correct his earlier mistake. We should maintain discipline in our daily routine. She admitted that she had underestimated the task. I regret not focusing on my priorities. They decided to improve their performance. He managed to persuade the team successfully. We need to adopt a positive attitude. She was determined to prove her potential. I am grateful for the lessons I have learned. They were confused by the lengthy instructions. He responded promptly to the urgent message. We must stay motivated throughout the journey. She completed her assignment carefully. I prefer concentrating on one task at a time. They were relieved after achieving their target. He denied any wrongdoing confidently. We should evaluate our strategies regularly. She encouraged her team to work efficiently. I am preparing for an important career opportunity. They were impressed by his consistency. He apologized for the inconvenience. We need to prioritize tasks based on importance. She reacted positively to the new challenge. I regret not preparing thoroughly for the test. They agreed to follow the revised plan. He managed to complete the task within the deadline. We must handle setbacks with resilience. She admitted that she was nervous before the interview. I am confident that my hard work will pay off. They were concerned about the upcoming competition. He attempted to improve his presentation skills. We should avoid distractions while studying. She handled the responsibility effectively. I prefer working in an organized environment. They were excited about their progress. He expressed his ideas clearly. We need to strengthen our determination. She was surprised by the opportunity she received. I am trying to remain consistent in my preparation. They were disappointed with the final result. He refused to participate in unnecessary arguments. We must collaborate efficiently to succeed. She completed her task with dedication. I regret not reviewing the material earlier. They decided to adjust their strategy. He managed to stay calm in a stressful situation. We should remain optimistic despite challenges. She encouraged her peers to stay focused. I am aware of the importance of regular practice. They were relieved after finishing their project. He apologized sincerely for the delay. We need to improve our critical thinking skills. She reacted thoughtfully to the suggestion. I prefer reading books that broaden my perspective. They were amazed by his improvement. He admitted his mistake without making excuses. We must develop strong self-discipline. She was determined to overcome every obstacle. I am confident in my overall preparation. They were confused about the revised pattern. He attempted to clarify the misunderstanding. We should focus on continuous growth. She completed the assignment successfully and on time. I regret not taking the initiative earlier. They agreed to support one another. He managed to handle the situation wisely. We need to stay disciplined throughout the process. She handled the interview with confidence. I am grateful for the support I received. They were excited about their improvement. He refused to lose hope. We must evaluate our performance honestly and fairly. She responded confidently to every question. I prefer organizing my tasks in advance. They were surprised by the quick progress. He expressed his concerns respectfully. We need to remain consistent and focused on our goals. She has been preparing for this opportunity for a long time. I realized that I needed to improve my weak areas. They were discussing the future of the organization. He apologized for missing the important meeting. We should carefully review the instructions before starting. She managed to stay calm during the crisis. I am not satisfied with the effort I made. They were eager to prove their abilities. He admitted that he had underestimated the difficulty. We need to focus on building strong fundamentals. She responded confidently to the challenging question. I prefer studying in a distraction-free environment. They were disappointed with their initial performance. He insisted on maintaining high standards. We should develop effective study habits. She felt motivated after receiving positive feedback. I regret not practicing consistently. They decided to restructure their plan. He expressed his concerns clearly during the meeting. We must respect deadlines strictly. She was confused about the new format of the exam. I am confident that I can handle this task. They were surprised by the sudden improvement. He refused to accept unfair criticism. We need to analyze our mistakes thoroughly. She completed the assignment with dedication and accuracy. I am trying to strengthen my grammar skills. They agreed to work together efficiently. He managed to overcome his nervousness. We should avoid procrastination. She admitted that she lacked preparation. I prefer solving problems step by step. They were concerned about their final results. He apologized for his careless mistake. We must remain focused during preparation. She encouraged her classmates to work harder. I am preparing for the next phase of the exam. They were impressed by his dedication. He denied spreading false information. We need to improve our analytical skills. She reacted positively to constructive feedback. I am aware of the importance of consistency. They were relieved after completing the project. He struggled to manage his time effectively. We should learn to adapt to new challenges. She insisted on revising the topic again. I regret not utilizing my potential earlier. They decided to adopt a new learning method. He attempted to explain his strategy clearly. We must work diligently to achieve success. She has improved her performance remarkably. I am not familiar with this advanced concept. They were excited about their recent progress. He managed to complete the difficult task. We should stay committed to our preparation. She apologized sincerely for the confusion. I prefer revising topics multiple times. They were shocked by the unexpected result. He admitted that he needed additional practice. We need to build confidence gradually. She was determined to overcome her limitations. I am grateful for the guidance I received. They were confused about the updated syllabus. He responded confidently to every query. We must avoid repeating the same mistakes. She encouraged me to stay disciplined. I regret not asking for clarification earlier. They agreed to review their mistakes together. He refused to compromise on quality. We should maintain a balanced study schedule. She completed the project with excellence. I am trying to improve my comprehension skills. They were disappointed with their score. He expressed his gratitude sincerely. We need to enhance our problem-solving abilities. She handled the challenging situation confidently. I prefer practicing mock tests regularly. They were concerned about the exam pattern. He managed to clear his doubts effectively. We should act responsibly during preparation. She admitted that she felt anxious before the test. I am confident in my learning strategy. They were eager to improve their performance. He apologized for not completing the assignment on time. We must consider every detail carefully. She reacted calmly to unexpected questions. I regret wasting valuable time earlier. They decided to revise their weak subjects. He insisted on maintaining discipline in the classroom. We need to track our progress consistently. She was amazed by her own improvement. I am interested in mastering advanced vocabulary. They were relieved after submitting their application. He attempted to enhance his presentation skills. We should avoid negative thinking. She explained the topic with clarity. I prefer focusing on important chapters first. They were surprised by the level of competition. He admitted that he lacked proper planning. We must learn to stay motivated. She has been preparing consistently without taking breaks. I am preparing for the final revision. They were impressed by her consistency. He refused to lose confidence. We need to organize our study materials properly. She encouraged her team to aim higher. I regret not attending the earlier session. They agreed to support each other's preparation. He managed to improve his weak areas. We should focus on steady growth. She responded positively to the mentor's advice. I am aware that success requires dedication. They were concerned about their time management. He apologized for misunderstanding the instructions. We must follow a clear study plan. She handled her responsibilities with maturity. I prefer discussing difficult topics with friends. They were excited about their improved scores. He expressed his disappointment calmly. We need to make thoughtful improvements. She insisted on practicing daily without excuses. I am confident that my efforts will yield results. They were surprised by their own progress. He attempted to overcome his fear of public speaking. We should maintain discipline in our routine. She admitted that she had been distracted. I regret not setting clear goals earlier. They decided to focus more on revision. He managed to motivate himself during tough times. We need to adopt effective learning techniques. She was determined to achieve excellence. I am grateful for every opportunity to learn. They were confused by the lengthy syllabus. He responded quickly to the teacher's question. We must stay consistent throughout the preparation. She completed her revision on time. I prefer concentrating fully while studying. They were relieved after finishing their mock test. He denied being careless. We should evaluate our mistakes honestly. She encouraged her classmates to remain confident. I am preparing for a major opportunity. They were impressed by his steady progress. He apologized for submitting the assignment late. We need to prioritize important subjects first. She reacted positively to her improved score. I regret not practicing regularly in the beginning. They agreed to revise together every weekend. He managed to complete the syllabus before time. We must handle exam pressure wisely. She admitted that she felt nervous initially. I am confident that persistence will bring success. They were concerned about their weak topics. He attempted to improve his accuracy. We should avoid unnecessary stress. She handled the exam confidently. I prefer studying early in the morning. They were excited about their final results. He expressed his thoughts clearly during the discussion. We need to strengthen our basics. She was surprised by her remarkable progress. I am trying to stay disciplined every day. They were disappointed with their performance in one section. He refused to give up after failure. We must collaborate to improve collectively. She completed her preparation systematically. I regret not reviewing my notes earlier. They decided to modify their timetable. He managed to control his anxiety. We should remain patient during difficult phases. She encouraged herself to stay motivated. I am aware that improvement takes time. They were relieved after understanding the concept. He apologized for asking repetitive questions. We need to improve our revision techniques. She reacted wisely to constructive feedback. I prefer solving previous year questions. They were amazed by their consistent improvement. He admitted that he needed more revision. We must develop confidence through practice. She was determined to clear the exam successfully. I am confident about my overall preparation. They were confused about a complex topic. He attempted to clarify his doubts with the teacher. We should focus on mastering fundamentals. She completed her practice tests regularly. I regret not seeking guidance earlier. They agreed to support each other during preparation. He managed to improve his speed gradually. We need to remain disciplined until the end. She handled the final exam with confidence. I am grateful for the support of my mentors. They were excited about achieving their goals. He refused to let fear control him. We must evaluate our performance realistically. She responded confidently to every question in the interview. I prefer organizing my notes neatly. They were surprised by their own achievements. He expressed his gratitude to his teachers. We need to stay focused and determined throughout our journey. She has been improving her consistency day by day. I realized that I needed a better study plan. They were discussing their long-term career goals. He apologized for not attending the seminar. We should review our notes regularly. She managed to overcome her fear of failure. I am not satisfied with my recent performance. They were eager to explore new opportunities. He admitted that he had ignored important instructions. We need to strengthen our preparation strategy. She responded confidently during the group discussion. I prefer studying in short, focused sessions. They were disappointed by their careless mistakes. He insisted on completing the revision before the test. We should develop better concentration skills. She felt relieved after finishing her assignment. I regret not maintaining discipline earlier. They decided to improve their weak subjects first. He expressed his thoughts clearly in the meeting. We must manage our time effectively. She was confused about the new examination pattern. I am confident that I will improve steadily. They were surprised by the level of difficulty. He refused to accept defeat easily. We need to analyze our performance objectively. She completed the task with remarkable accuracy. I am trying to improve my reading speed. They agreed to practice together every evening. He managed to control his stress effectively. We should avoid last-minute preparation. She admitted that she lacked confidence earlier. I prefer revising important concepts repeatedly. They were concerned about their overall progress. He apologized for submitting incomplete work. We must stay motivated during challenging times. She encouraged her friends to remain disciplined. I am preparing for an upcoming competitive exam. They were impressed by his dedication to learning. He denied copying someone else's work. We need to enhance our critical thinking skills. She reacted positively to her improved score. I am aware of my strengths and weaknesses. They were relieved after completing the syllabus. He struggled to maintain consistency. We should adapt to new learning techniques. She insisted on understanding the concept thoroughly. I regret not asking questions in class. They decided to change their preparation method. He attempted to explain the solution logically. We must practice regularly to achieve excellence. She has improved her accuracy significantly. I am not familiar with this complex formula. They were excited about their consistent progress. He managed to finish his revision on time. We should stay committed to our routine. She apologized sincerely for her earlier mistake. I prefer solving mock tests every weekend. They were shocked by the unexpected announcement. He admitted that he needed to work harder. We need to build strong fundamentals first. She was determined to achieve her target score. I am grateful for the support from my family. They were confused by the complicated instructions. He responded confidently to the examiner's questions. We must avoid distractions while studying. She encouraged me to stay consistent. I regret not revising regularly in the beginning. They agreed to focus more on practice questions. He refused to give up despite difficulties. We should maintain a balanced schedule. She completed the project with full dedication. I am trying to improve my problem-solving speed. They were disappointed with their initial results. He expressed his gratitude to his mentor. We need to enhance our understanding of core topics. She handled the pressure with confidence. I prefer studying difficult subjects first. They were concerned about the upcoming deadline. He managed to clear his doubts effectively. We should approach problems logically. She admitted that she had been careless earlier. I am confident about my preparation progress. They were eager to perform better next time. He apologized for misunderstanding the concept. We must consider every question carefully. She reacted calmly during the exam. I regret not practicing enough previous year questions. They decided to improve their accuracy first. He insisted on maintaining discipline in the group. We need to track our daily performance. She was amazed by her improvement in speed. I am interested in mastering advanced topics. They were relieved after completing their final test. He attempted to improve his writing clarity. We should avoid negative thoughts. She explained the concept in a simple manner. I prefer organizing my notes systematically. They were surprised by the competitive environment. He admitted that he needed better planning. We must stay focused on our long-term goals. She has been practicing consistently every day. I am preparing for the next stage of the competition. They were impressed by her remarkable dedication. He refused to let setbacks discourage him. We need to organize our time efficiently. She encouraged her teammates to stay motivated. I regret not attending extra classes earlier. They agreed to follow a strict timetable. He managed to improve his weak sections. We should focus on quality preparation. She responded positively to constructive suggestions. I am aware that consistency leads to success. They were concerned about the complexity of the exam. He apologized for not completing the work properly. We must follow a systematic approach. She handled the situation with maturity. I prefer discussing difficult topics with teachers. They were excited about their improved performance. He expressed his disappointment calmly. We need to improve our accuracy and speed simultaneously. She insisted on revising the difficult chapters again. I am confident that hard work will bring results. They were surprised by their own progress. He attempted to overcome his fear of failure. We should maintain discipline throughout preparation. She admitted that she had wasted some time earlier. I regret not focusing on my weak areas sooner. They decided to dedicate more hours to practice. He managed to motivate himself despite challenges. We need to adopt effective revision techniques. She was determined to achieve her desired score. I am grateful for the valuable lessons I learned. They were confused by the lengthy instructions. He responded quickly to the teacher's query. We must stay consistent until the final day. She completed her preparation ahead of schedule. I prefer concentrating fully during study hours. They were relieved after finishing their practice test. He denied making any intentional mistake. We should evaluate our progress weekly. She encouraged her classmates to remain confident. I am preparing for an important interview. They were impressed by his determination. He apologized for submitting the report late. We need to prioritize important topics. She reacted positively to constructive criticism. I regret not practicing regularly from the start. They agreed to revise together before the exam. He managed to complete his syllabus in time. We must handle exam stress wisely. She admitted that she felt nervous before the test. I am confident that consistent practice will help me succeed. They were concerned about their weakest subject. He attempted to improve his calculation speed. We should avoid unnecessary anxiety. She handled the situation calmly and confidently. I prefer studying early in the morning. They were excited about their final performance. He expressed his thoughts clearly during the presentation. We need to strengthen our conceptual clarity. She was surprised by her steady progress. I am trying to remain disciplined every day. They were disappointed with one section of the test. He refused to give up after facing difficulty. We must collaborate to achieve better results. She completed her preparation systematically and carefully. I regret not reviewing my notes regularly. They decided to adjust their preparation plan. He managed to control his nervousness. We should remain patient during preparation. She encouraged herself to stay positive. I am aware that improvement requires dedication. They were relieved after understanding the difficult concept. He apologized for asking repetitive questions. We need to improve our practice strategy. She reacted wisely to the unexpected question. I prefer solving practice papers regularly. They were amazed by their own progress. He admitted that he needed more consistent practice. We must develop strong self-confidence. She was determined to clear the examination successfully. I am confident about my overall readiness. They were confused about the revised syllabus. He attempted to clarify his doubts with patience. We should focus on mastering the basics first. She completed her revision on time. I regret not seeking help earlier. They agreed to encourage one another daily. He managed to improve his performance gradually. We need to remain disciplined until the final exam. She handled the interview confidently. I am grateful for the encouragement I received. They were excited about achieving their goals. He refused to let fear control his actions. We must evaluate our preparation honestly. She responded confidently to every interview question. I prefer organizing my schedule properly. They were surprised by their excellent results. He expressed his gratitude sincerely. We need to stay focused and determined throughout our preparation. She gradually developed confidence after practicing daily. The manager appreciated his honest feedback. They postponed the event due to heavy rain. I prefer reading novels to watching television. He apologized for arriving late to the meeting. We must respect different opinions in a discussion. She saved money to buy a new laptop. The teacher encouraged students to ask questions. He successfully completed the difficult task. They were surprised by the unexpected results. I usually wake up before sunrise. She explained the concept in simple terms. We should avoid making quick judgments. He admitted that he had made a mistake. They invested in a promising project. I forgot to submit the assignment on time. She handled the situation calmly and wisely. We discussed the plan in detail. He was proud of his achievements. They decided to explore new opportunities. I will inform you as soon as possible. She prepared carefully for the interview. We must focus on our long-term goals. He refused to accept unfair treatment. They offered assistance during the crisis. I am grateful for your continuous support. She maintained a positive attitude throughout. We arranged the files in alphabetical order. He insisted on checking the details again. They organized a meeting to solve the issue. I felt relieved after finishing the exam. She requested additional time to complete the task. We celebrated the success of our team. He carefully reviewed the final report. They managed the project efficiently. I rarely complain about minor problems. She noticed a significant improvement in her skills. We must learn from our past experiences. He encouraged his friends to stay motivated. They agreed to share responsibilities equally. I prefer working in a quiet environment. She expressed her opinion confidently. We cannot ignore important instructions. He dedicated his time to social work. They experienced technical difficulties during the presentation. I plan to upgrade my computer soon. She participated actively in the debate. We appreciated the quick response. He avoided unnecessary arguments. They followed the guidelines strictly. I am considering changing my career path. She completed the training successfully. We arranged transportation for the guests. He struggled to understand the complex theory. They adopted a new strategy to improve sales. I recommend reading this article carefully. She adapted quickly to the new environment. We analyzed the data thoroughly. He supported the decision wholeheartedly. They monitored the situation closely. I felt disappointed by the outcome. She apologized sincerely for her behavior. We must remain patient during difficult times. He presented his ideas clearly and logically. They received positive feedback from clients. I intend to improve my communication skills. She balanced her studies and work effectively. We discussed the budget constraints. He admitted his responsibility in the matter. They conducted research before launching the product. I prefer traveling by train rather than by bus. She overcame her fear through practice. We cannot compromise on quality. He attended the seminar last week. They implemented new policies immediately. I admire her dedication and discipline. She contributed valuable suggestions. We faced several challenges during the project. He managed his time efficiently. They improved their performance significantly. I was impressed by his confidence. She organized her schedule carefully. We resolved the conflict peacefully. He forgot to attach the document. They shared their experiences openly. I avoided making unnecessary expenses. She followed the instructions carefully. We supported each other throughout the journey. He expressed his gratitude politely. They achieved their targets successfully. I will consider your proposal seriously. She prepared notes for the meeting. We must maintain discipline at work. He requested clarification on the topic. They provided useful information. I noticed a mistake in the calculation. She improved her vocabulary gradually. We responded promptly to the complaint. He declined the invitation politely. They selected the best candidate for the job. I realized the importance of teamwork. She arranged the documents neatly. We cannot predict the future accurately. He submitted the report before the deadline. They welcomed the new employee warmly. I appreciate your honesty and transparency. She explained the process step by step. We discussed possible solutions. He volunteered to lead the group. They attended the workshop enthusiastically. I was confused by the complicated instructions. She listened carefully to the feedback. We must avoid repeating the same mistakes. He accepted the challenge confidently. They organized the event successfully. I prefer practical knowledge over theory. She managed her finances wisely. We faced unexpected obstacles. He demonstrated excellent leadership skills. They adjusted their plans accordingly. I felt nervous before the presentation. She clarified her doubts with the teacher. We should respect cultural differences. He developed a strong interest in science. They maintained regular communication. I attempted to solve the problem independently. She improved her pronunciation significantly. We celebrated the festival joyfully. He reacted calmly under pressure. They offered constructive criticism. I prefer reading newspapers daily. She expressed concern about the issue. We must follow safety regulations. He apologized for the inconvenience caused. They cooperated with the investigation. I decided to take a short break. She motivated her team members. We cannot ignore environmental problems. He attended every class regularly. They responded positively to the proposal. I plan to pursue higher education. She handled the complaint professionally. We arranged a surprise for her birthday. He refused to compromise his principles. They monitored progress carefully. I noticed improvement in my writing skills. She maintained a healthy lifestyle. We discussed the matter confidentially. He contributed to the charity event. They appreciated our cooperation. I considered various options before deciding. She prepared for the competition diligently. We must communicate clearly. He participated in social activities. They solved the problem creatively. I accepted the offer gratefully. She completed the assignment accurately. We organized the files systematically. He encouraged innovation in the workplace. They handled the crisis effectively. I felt confident after practice. She attended the interview confidently. We should value constructive feedback. He maintained consistency in his work. They completed the project ahead of schedule. I tried to explain the situation clearly. She learned from her mistakes. We appreciated the detailed explanation. He showed remarkable improvement. They made a thoughtful decision. I will update you about the progress. She developed her skills through experience. We cannot rely on assumptions. He expressed dissatisfaction with the service. They provided technical support promptly. I avoided distractions while studying. She responded to emails professionally. We prepared a backup plan. He delivered the speech confidently. They maintained transparency in communication. I prefer working on challenging tasks. She apologized for the misunderstanding. We must analyze the situation carefully. He handled criticism maturely. They updated the system regularly. I noticed a positive change in attitude. She contributed actively to the discussion. We managed resources efficiently. He remained calm during the argument. They reviewed the contract thoroughly. I will reconsider my decision. She organized the workshop effectively. We should prioritize important tasks. He adapted to the changes quickly. They appreciated the opportunity. I improved my performance gradually. She accepted the responsibility willingly. We completed the training program successfully. He supported his colleagues sincerely. They planned the event meticulously. I gradually built confidence through consistent practice. She handled the difficult conversation maturely. We analyzed the situation from different perspectives. He refused to give up despite repeated failures. They completed the assignment ahead of schedule. I realized that patience is essential for success. She managed her responsibilities effectively. We discussed the proposal in depth. He admitted that he needed improvement. They celebrated their achievement modestly. I prefer solving problems independently. She maintained discipline throughout the training. We must respect deadlines strictly. He presented his argument convincingly. They responded to the complaint professionally. I noticed a gradual improvement in my skills. She apologized for the delay sincerely. We arranged the meeting conveniently. He remained focused on his objectives. They adopted innovative methods to increase productivity. I felt satisfied after completing the project. She requested clarification politely. We should avoid unnecessary conflicts. He encouraged teamwork among employees. They resolved the issue amicably. I prepared thoroughly for the examination. She demonstrated exceptional communication skills. We followed the instructions carefully. He contributed valuable insights to the discussion. They monitored performance consistently. I was impressed by her dedication. She adjusted her schedule accordingly. We must prioritize our responsibilities wisely. He declined the offer respectfully. They conducted a detailed survey. I avoided distractions during my preparation. She supported her colleagues wholeheartedly. We evaluated the results objectively. He accepted constructive criticism positively. They maintained transparency in operations. I prefer reading informative articles regularly. She explained the strategy clearly. We should learn from our mistakes. He attended the workshop enthusiastically. They managed the crisis efficiently. I realized the value of time management. She participated actively in the seminar. We ensured quality control at every stage. He expressed gratitude for the opportunity. They achieved remarkable progress. I felt motivated by her speech. She maintained a calm attitude under pressure. We arranged the documents systematically. He avoided unnecessary expenses. They appreciated the constructive feedback. I will reconsider my strategy carefully. She improved her analytical skills significantly. We discussed alternative solutions. He handled the complaint patiently. They collaborated effectively on the project. I prefer practical experience over theoretical knowledge. She managed her workload efficiently. We should maintain a healthy work-life balance. He organized the event successfully. They addressed the issue promptly. I noticed a positive shift in attitude. She volunteered to assist the team. We conducted research before making a decision. He remained optimistic despite challenges. They completed the training program effectively. I felt relieved after solving the problem. She presented her ideas confidently. We must focus on long-term development. He demonstrated leadership qualities. They responded to queries immediately. I accepted the challenge willingly. She adapted to the new environment quickly. We maintained consistent communication. He analyzed the report carefully. They improved efficiency through innovation. I prefer working in a structured environment. She handled criticism professionally. We should respect diverse opinions. He contributed significantly to the project. They managed resources wisely. I recognized the importance of collaboration. She attended every session punctually. We ensured smooth coordination. He expressed dissatisfaction politely. They implemented new policies successfully. I was surprised by the unexpected outcome. She clarified her doubts immediately. We must remain consistent in our efforts. He dedicated extra time to complete the task. They resolved misunderstandings effectively. I improved my vocabulary through regular practice. She supported the initiative enthusiastically. We organized the files alphabetically. He managed deadlines responsibly. They appreciated our prompt response. I considered multiple options before choosing. She communicated her expectations clearly. We should analyze risks carefully. He accepted responsibility for the mistake. They monitored the system regularly. I felt confident during the presentation. She provided detailed explanations. We maintained discipline throughout the event. He refused to compromise his integrity. I prefer constructive discussions over arguments. She managed her time effectively. We should appreciate honest feedback. He overcame his fear gradually. They coordinated the activities smoothly. I realized the importance of perseverance. She prepared a comprehensive report. We addressed the concerns carefully. He responded to the criticism calmly. They maintained high standards consistently. I felt encouraged by their support. She adjusted her strategy accordingly. We must remain adaptable to change. He attended the conference last month. They solved the issue collaboratively. I avoided making hasty decisions. She demonstrated remarkable patience. We conducted regular evaluations. He contributed to the discussion actively. They appreciated the team's efforts. I prefer clarity in communication. She handled the responsibility confidently. We should maintain professional ethics. He presented his findings logically. They organized the campaign effectively. I recognized my weaknesses and worked on them. She supported the proposal wholeheartedly. We ensured transparency in transactions. He adapted to the challenging situation. They improved their skills continuously. I was inspired by his determination. She requested feedback after completing the task. We must value punctuality. He participated in community service. They resolved the conflict peacefully. I practiced speaking English daily. She managed her resources efficiently. We arranged the workshop professionally. He expressed appreciation sincerely. They followed the procedure strictly. I considered the consequences carefully. She demonstrated strong problem-solving skills. We should encourage creativity. He remained calm during negotiations. They implemented improvements successfully. I felt optimistic about the future. She clarified the instructions again. We maintained proper documentation. He contributed innovative ideas. They completed the assignment efficiently. I prefer meaningful conversations. She accepted the feedback gracefully. We must ensure accuracy in our work. He avoided unnecessary risks. They supported each other consistently. I realized that consistency leads to success. She managed the team effectively. We reviewed the policy carefully. He handled the situation wisely. They maintained steady progress. I felt prepared for the challenge. She contributed positively to the environment. We should stay committed to our goals. He attended the training regularly. They solved the technical issue quickly. I appreciated the detailed guidance. She balanced multiple responsibilities successfully. We ensured timely completion of tasks. He expressed his views respectfully. They coordinated effectively with clients. I prefer working with supportive colleagues. She handled the interview confidently. We must remain focused on improvement. He delivered the presentation effectively. They responded to challenges creatively. I improved my communication through practice. She demonstrated excellent teamwork. We maintained regular updates. He addressed the problem strategically. They completed the project within budget. I felt grateful for the opportunity. She maintained professionalism at all times. We should respect organizational policies. He overcame obstacles with determination. They supported the initiative wholeheartedly. I reviewed my performance honestly. She ensured smooth execution of the plan. We analyzed feedback thoroughly. He remained confident despite criticism. They achieved their objectives successfully. I focused on improving my weaknesses steadily. She handled unexpected situations with confidence. We discussed the issue openly and honestly. He managed his responsibilities without complaint. They completed the task despite limited resources. I realized that planning saves time. She encouraged everyone to stay positive. We reviewed the rules carefully. He accepted the feedback with maturity. They achieved success through teamwork. I prefer learning through real-life examples. She organized the meeting efficiently. We should avoid unnecessary pressure. He practiced daily to improve his skills. They resolved the problem through discussion. I noticed steady improvement in my performance. She supported her decision confidently. We followed the schedule strictly. He contributed actively during the session. They maintained discipline throughout the process. I felt satisfied with the final outcome. She responded to the situation wisely. We must maintain consistency in our efforts. He managed stress effectively. They appreciated the honest feedback. I avoided procrastination by planning ahead. She demonstrated excellent communication skills. We ensured accuracy in our work. He expressed his opinion politely. They adapted quickly to changes. I prefer quality over quantity. She handled criticism constructively. We discussed improvements thoroughly. He met the deadline successfully. They encouraged innovation in the team. I felt confident during the interview. She prepared thoroughly for the task. We analyzed the data carefully. He remained calm under pressure. They handled the situation professionally. I noticed progress after consistent practice. She explained her ideas clearly. We should respect others' viewpoints. He managed his time wisely. They collaborated to achieve better results. I recognized the importance of discipline. She followed instructions accurately. We reviewed our mistakes honestly. He maintained a positive attitude. They completed the training successfully. I prefer structured learning methods. She accepted responsibility for the error. We must remain focused on our goals. He overcame challenges through perseverance. They organized the event smoothly. I appreciated the guidance provided. She balanced her duties efficiently. We discussed the plan in advance. He expressed gratitude sincerely. They implemented the strategy effectively. I felt motivated after the discussion. She managed her workload carefully. We should evaluate our progress regularly. He handled disagreements calmly. They improved performance through practice. I avoided distractions while studying. She supported her teammates actively. We ensured smooth coordination. He responded thoughtfully to questions. They maintained steady improvement. I prefer honest communication. She demonstrated leadership qualities. We must stay committed to improvement. He organized his tasks efficiently. They solved the issue creatively. I recognized my progress over time. She handled pressure with confidence. We followed the guidelines properly. He avoided unnecessary conflicts. They achieved consistency in results. I felt encouraged by the positive response. She managed expectations realistically. We should maintain professionalism at work. He contributed valuable ideas. They addressed concerns promptly. I practiced regularly to improve fluency. She communicated her thoughts clearly. We organized the materials neatly. He accepted the challenge confidently. They ensured quality throughout the project. I prefer focusing on solutions rather than problems. She remained patient during the process. We discussed alternatives carefully. He maintained discipline consistently. They collaborated successfully. I realized the importance of adaptability. She learned from past experiences. We monitored progress closely. He handled responsibilities responsibly. They achieved their goals gradually. I felt prepared for the next step. She organized her notes systematically. We should value teamwork. He adapted his approach effectively. They completed the assignment accurately. I improved my skills through practice. She demonstrated confidence in her abilities. We maintained transparency in decisions. He addressed issues promptly. They ensured timely delivery. I prefer learning from experience. She handled feedback positively. We must avoid repeating mistakes. He managed pressure effectively. They showed dedication to their work. I recognized the value of preparation. She supported the initiative wholeheartedly. We analyzed the situation objectively. He remained focused despite challenges. They improved efficiency steadily. I felt satisfied with my effort. She expressed her views confidently. We should maintain accuracy. He contributed to the discussion meaningfully. They responded professionally to criticism. I practiced daily to build confidence. She managed tasks independently. We coordinated effectively as a team. He demonstrated commitment. They completed the project smoothly. I prefer clear instructions. She handled the responsibility well. We must respect deadlines. He resolved conflicts diplomatically. They followed the process carefully. I appreciated the constructive advice. She balanced priorities successfully. We ensured consistent performance. He handled challenges patiently. They maintained high standards. I felt confident about my preparation. She adapted to new challenges. We should encourage cooperation. He expressed ideas logically. They monitored results carefully. I realized that effort brings improvement. She handled communication professionally. We prepared for unexpected situations. He maintained focus throughout. They achieved steady growth. I prefer thoughtful decision making. She managed change effectively. We must stay motivated. He demonstrated patience and discipline. They worked together efficiently. I reviewed my progress honestly. She completed tasks systematically. We analyzed outcomes carefully. He supported his team consistently. They handled responsibilities maturely. I felt encouraged to improve further. She expressed appreciation politely. We should value learning. He accepted feedback constructively. They achieved improvement through consistency. I practiced regularly for better results. She managed her role confidently. We ensured effective communication. He handled difficulties wisely. They maintained progress steadily. I prefer disciplined routines. She handled challenges confidently. We must focus on solutions. He adapted to pressure calmly. They encouraged mutual support. I recognized the importance of balance. She organized her work efficiently. We followed best practices. He demonstrated reliability. They completed tasks responsibly. I felt optimistic about improvement. She managed expectations clearly. We should maintain clarity in goals. He contributed consistently. They resolved issues effectively. I practiced speaking confidently. She maintained focus throughout. We ensured proper planning. He handled tasks carefully. They achieved desired outcomes. I prefer steady progress over quick results. She adapted strategies when needed. We must value persistence. He maintained professionalism always. They supported improvement initiatives. I reviewed feedback thoughtfully. We ensured consistent quality. He remained committed to growth. They achieved success through dedication.